Next group up is Emily Cormier with her group Meagan, Harper, Isabella, Boushey, Maria Creighton.
Hello, I'm Maria Creighton. This is Isabella Boushey, Meagan Harper, and Emily Cormier. We began to be involved with the National Capital Commission through a group project last semester. We are undergraduate environmental science students. So we started working with the National Capital Commission to create a management strategy for all the invasive plant species in the National Capital Region. And we ended up compiling a 130-page document instructing the National Capital Commission how to manage all their invasive plant species.
All right, so an invasive species is an organism in the environment that can have harmful effects to the environment. This is either by reducing the biodiversity, or it can also have harmful effects to the health of humans as well as other species. So this is of concern to the National Capital Commission because their mandate is to maintain and promote the biodiversity in their specific national capital region. So our job was to find and research all 22 of their invasive plant species of concern, find a management strategy for each one that would work best, and prioritize them.
So in order to prioritize the management of these 22 species, we created a systematic ranking system based on several key characteristics of each plant, including things like their seed dispersal or their effect on native species and human health. We determined that the highest score for the plants was considered to have the greatest impact and was the best invader. So once we had prioritized the species, we determined which one was in the largest area, and we recommended that containment of these species would be most effective, while species that were in smaller areas and in less high populations should be, sorry, I've lost my word, controlled. There we go. And we also suggested that the National Capital Commission focus their efforts in key ecological areas. So we were able to do this project because the National Capital Commission had already done surveys in their lands, and we were able to use their data. We helped them prioritize their species only because they already had some information, so communication with them was very important. We also communicated with individuals in other locations, such as London and Guelph, and we also communicated with some conservation authorities, and their input was very, very important in our prioritization of the species.
Just to finish off, one of the main takeaways we got from this project is that communication and cooperation as well as collaboration is really the key to success in any project, especially in one as large as the project that we worked on, which is invasive species, because if you don't remove the invasive species effectively in all areas or the same invasive species, then it can continue to spread. And when we met with all of these different groups like the Rideau Valley Conservation Authority, the Mississippi Valley Conservation Authority, we saw that a lot of their mandates were very different. So we really learned that if you do cooperate and if you do collaborate with other people, even if you aren't aware that the other groups may have the same project as you, you should really outreach and try to search for those projects and ask them what they are doing, or else the efforts that you have may be canceled out by others. And also if you work with the other groups, it may be much easier to reach your goal.